Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's special report on what can be considered as one of the most damning corporate scandals in American history. Tonight, we look at the Boeing 737 MAX, a tragic case of strategy being driven by profit, where it appears that the cost of numerous shortcuts isn't measured in just dollars, but in the amount of lives lost as well. Taking a look back from October of 2018 to March of 2019, not one but two Boeing 737 MAX aircraft crashed, instantly killing all 346 passengers. The following investigation, led by the FAA, uncovered details that showed Boeing had installed the Maneuver Characteristic Augmentation System, or MCAS, that was designed to assist the new MAX in flying like its predecessor. But here's the twisted kicker. Boeing didn't disclose this information to the pilots. They didn't provide the training required, and allegedly, when questioned by the FAA, attempted to downplay the significance of MCAS, just so they could speed through the certification process and meet the delivery timeframe. Why did Boeing do this? Because they were in a head-to-head competition against Airbus, and they were trying to keep their market share in the narrow-body aircraft. Their strategic planning became tunnel-visioned, and ethical oversight turned into collateral damage. Whistleblowers revealed during their congressional testimonies that Boeing corporate culture during this time was one that made a priority of speed and stock prices instead of safety and transparency. Internal emails revealed that during the investigation, employees consistently referred to the new MAX aircraft as one that was designed by clowns who were supervised by monkeys. The result of these strategic planning that lacked any sort of sense of moral compass, and when the strategy chose to ignore those ethics, disaster wasn't a matter of will it happen, but when it will happen. Now, the fallout of this decision was swift and devastating to Boeing. Their stock, it tanked. Countless lawsuits poured in, one after another, and the FAA, who at one point was criticized for appearing too cozy with the company, completely overhauled its corporate oversight procedures. And Boeing CEO at the time, Dennis Muilenburg, he was ousted by the board of directors and denied any sort of severance package, although records have revealed that he still walked away with nearly $60 million that was contractually obligated to him. And according to the Government Accountability Office, combining the fines, compensation, and the victim settlements, Boeing has paid out nearly $2.5 billion. Now, what does this scandal teach us about strategic planning? Well, first, is that ethical framework must be integrated into your strategy and not just something that's a checklist. And that the strategic making needs to account for the long-term trust from all the stakeholders and not simply just short market wins. Second, the corporate culture, which is often the unseen driver of all strategic execution, must be aligned with ethics. And as stated in 2021 by Julia Hurd in the Journal of Business Ethics, a culture that tolerates deception for the sake of performance will eventually destroy value, not create it. And lastly, is that transparency in all communication between leadership teams, the regulators, and the public is a must-have. And in the case of Boeing, concealment was a calculated tactic where strategic failure followed and costed the company all their credibility around the world. In today's business environment, ethical strategy planning isn't just a buzzword, it's a requirement for survival. Whether you're leading a multinational defense contract company or growing a small technology firm, this scandal should remind everyone that strategy without ethics isn't strategy, it's a gamble. And when you're gambling with lives, the stakes are too high to play fast and loose. Thank you for tuning in on today's story, showing how Boeing's flawed strategic lens grounded more than just planes. It grounded trust in one of the world's most iconic aviation companies. I'm Nick Posada, signing off for now. Good night.